Hi, hello to all, and welcome to another episode of Dappz Live. We are here to talk about sports, laugh about sports, and if anybody had any Trey Benson action last night, potentially cry about sports. I am Dappz here with my co-host, Blackbeard himself, Dylan.
Hi, Matt. How are you?
I'm doing well. I had a $50,000 parlay that was 25 yards away from hitting last night, so a little sour about it.
Well, it was more than 25 yards away from. You needed a lot to happen.
No. 10 yards from Torrey Horton and 15 yards from Trey Benson. 10 plus 15, 25 yards. I needed OT. We had a chance. Guys, remember, we want to hear from you. If you have takes on the games, the players, the stories, bad beats, put them in the comments. DM us. We're moving back to Long Island, where I grew up, and that is where the Ryder Cup is being hosted this year on Long Island at Bethpage Black. All right, it's the Europeans versus the U.S. We're very excited about it. And remember, guys, everybody, we are live every single day at noon. Don't forget, we're going to get through the Ryder Cup. First, we're going to go over Thursday Night Football. Was once again, drum roll, please, S. But Dill, was it an interesting game?
It was interesting. I feel like Vegas called in and said, hey, remember, it's a 1.5 line because there was some fuckery afoot in the beginning of that game. We have the fumble that was always the Seahawks. We have that holding call on JSN. There were so many weird calls in that game, and the Seahawks dominated the entire time.
Well, listen, the game started off extremely boring. Kyler and MHJ are obviously not in sync. He completely misses him over the head, interception. Next drive, hits Harrison right in the hands. This is a guy who was winning all of these awards at Ohio State for receiver of the year, whatever accolades that he won, and it hits him right in the hands, pops into the air, and another interception. That one wasn't even Kyler's fault. This is a massive disaster for the team. Somehow, some way, by the way, I don't know if you remember, Dill, Kyler threw another pick, right? Or maybe this was the first pick.
2 picks.
That got fumbled back to the Cardinals. Somehow they end up with the ball. The Cardinals could not move the ball, get any momentum, and we can maybe attribute that to Kyler or maybe MHJ, but it ended up being an extremely boring game. Seahawks went up 14-3, kind of stayed up the whole game. And then at the end of the game, the Cardinals put some magic together only to lose. The Cardinals are fucking horrible, Dylan. They're one of the worst coach teams in the NFL. They're so boring to watch. They start to play their brand of football with 2 minutes left in the game when, had they started the night off like that, I think they easily could have won. What do you think?
Yeah, the Cardinals are my least favorite team in the NFL. They're a horribly coached organization, and Kyler Murray is one of the most frustrating players in the NFL. He's unbelievably talented, but he is the king of the 1-yard scramble. This guy rolls around, and he has room, and he just takes a knee for no reason. Also, anybody who had Trey Benson last night in fantasy, I mean, you're not feeling good this morning. The Cardinals do a lot of screen passes on 3rd and 14 for God knows what reason.
Listen, Trey Benson was supposed to be this guy who comes in for James Conner, lights it up, younger version of Conner after the devastating injury that Conner sustained, and it's just, that's not what happened, all right? Now, this was Trey heading into the game, by the way. You guys got to see this.
And it's him just telling us all that you don't bet on me. Don't not bet on me. We don't. Yeah.
Before I fuck up your parlay, most of you think I'm just gonna run wild now that James Conner is out at the track. Arizona's only running the ball about 35% of the time in neutral situations, making them the 7th least run heavy team in football. So don't just assume I'm about to go off to my first game of the league. Take me to go under 60 rushing yards and thank you. All the page for non-stop winners.
Now,
this was AI?
Obviously, I'm
AI
David
pick?
Benson, and I'm here
This
to
is
win.
brilliant, by the way. Whoever came up with this, like, kudos to you. This is why AI is cool because, listen, there's two things going on simultaneously. One, it's scary that, oh my God, is this Trey Benson or not? But once you realize, like, hey, when I see something on the internet, it might not be true, right? And then you go, this is cool that they're delivering this message to gamblers from Trey Benson's mouth, even though it's not Trey Benson.
And you took the exact opposite. Let's get to the Seahawks.
Well, it's funny how you send this to me the next day, Dill. It's funny. It's funny how that happens. It's also funny how DiMaccardo came in for the last 5 minutes of the game and stole all of Trey Benson's action. The Seahawks, who are equally as frustrating, by the way, JSN didn't have a catch in the first half. A testament to how good JSN, no. I mean, he still ends up with 79 yards. The Seahawks run the ball every play. They're so freaking boring. Charbonnet, I literally hate this guy. He comes in and steals all of Kenneth Walker's fantasy points. I just don't get it. Sam Darnold, by the way, kind of looks good. How do you feel about Sammy Boy?
Yeah, I mean, I'm happy for the Seahawks. I don't want to gamble on them anymore. I feel like we talk about this every Thursday, it feels like. The Lions are the only team in the NFL that play football the way that you should play football. If you're up by 3 touchdowns, be up by 5 touchdowns.
Sure.
Why not be up by 5 touchdowns?
We're going to brand this brand of football something so that we can constantly talk about it because it's so disgusting for teams to go up X amount of points in a game. They're up 2 touchdowns and they play like they won the game. And what I mean by that is run the ball, throw on 3rd and long, don't convert, punt it. Guess what? When you play that brand of football, you leave the door open for a team like the Cardinals, who aren't even good, to come back and tie the game. Somehow, by God's grace, Myers, the Seahawks kicker, put that through at the end. But had he not done that, the Seahawks looked like they were about to blow that game. Very frustrating. Next week, we actually have a good game. Rams versus Niners. If Purdy's back, that's a divisional matchup that we want to see. Now let's get to a feel-good story. Please to wash the taste of Thursday Night Football out of my mouth. The opposite of Angry Phillies Karen is this man named Glenn. The fan who caught Cal Raleigh's 60th home run ball gave it to a boy in the right field seats. The Mariners said the boy traded the ball for a bat signed by Raleigh and an invitation to watch batting practice on the field. This kid got absolutely fleeced, Dylan. Listen, coming off the heels of Phillies Karen, I hated that woman. That was absolutely horrible.
Yeah.
But these situations are not to be compared. If you catch the 60th home run of Cal Raleigh, who, by the way, has broken the record for most home runs by a catcher, this is a piece of history now. Karen's ball meant nothing. The ball meant absolutely nothing.
Nothing.
Nobody cared. Give the ball to a kid. I have been at Citi Field, caught a home run, caught a foul ball, gave the ball to a kid because it means absolutely nothing. Cal Raleigh's 60th home run at auction could get you $100,000, right? Maybe it gets you $50,000. You don't give that to a kid. Sorry, you don't do that, okay? Also, the Mariners then come in, they give the kid a signed bat, which obviously is not worth it, right? It's not worth $50,000. It's not worth $100,000. This ball would have fetched a decent amount at auction. So I hate this. I really do. I don't like it. I think we need to be aware of what is worth and what's not worth. And listen, I'm okay. You want to do a private deal with Cal Raleigh and say, listen, this thing's worth $100. I'll give it to you for $50. Do it. Private sale, whatever. Cal Raleigh, you're about to get paid $200 million. If this ball means so much to you and you want it in your closet or wherever you hang up all your mem, give the fan who caught the ball $50K. It's life-changing.
And it's a cautionary tale. We had this with the Shohei 50-50 ball, I think. If the organization approaches you after the game, say no. Every time they're going to offer you an Arby's gift card and an invitation to batting practice, keep the ball.
The offer will go up after the Arby's gift card is what Dylan's saying,
keep
all right?
The ball
will go up. And listen, this whole give the kids the baseballs movement, not into it. I'm not into it. You do not need to give the kids the baseball. Okay, but remember, guys, you catch a meaningless foul ball or home run. Okay, great. It's on camera. You can watch it for the rest of your life. You have the moment. Give the ball to the kid. Jesus Christ. All right, we're going to move right back along to the Ryder Cup at my favorite place, Bethpage Black, where I once shot 1 under par.
Incorrect.
That's never
a lie.
happened.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. It's an extremely difficult course, recommended only for highly skilled golfers, none of which who are in this room right now, all right? Europe versus America face off in Farmingdale, New York. We used to play Farmingdale, Syosset High School versus Farmingdale in football and get our asses kicked. I don't know if you know that. Every country cheats a little bit, just like Farmingdale did in high school, all right? Bethpage has been cut down more than the patrons have ever seen it, and it's for a reason. We bombed Europe in World War II, and we're going to bomb them again this weekend.
Yeah.
Dylan.
Uh-huh.
Do home courses tend to cheat when it comes to the Ryder Cup?
Yeah, this is the most seedy contest in sports, I'd say. If you're in Europe, the European course is going to cheat. Last time we had a Ryder Cup, they made it a long iron competition because that was the strength of the European players. This year, we've got Bryson just seeding out errant balls 380 yards down the fairway. He doesn't need to hit fairways, okay? That's not what this Ryder Cup is about. It's about long drives and wedges, and that's why the USA is going to take this home.
So the whole philosophy here is, for anyone who doesn't understand what's going on, is that the United States said, you know what, let's shave the rough down a little bit. Let's just cut it down a little shorter than we usually do so that when our players smash 380-yard bombs, we can pull out our wedge. There's not this thick rough that we got to hit out of. It's a little bit easier to hit your second
It's
shot.
cheating. It's
right?
just cheating. Yeah.
It's a little bit of cheating.
Yeah.
Okay? We're just moving the course in our direction. Now, what I will say, though, is this has got to benefit Rory. I just saw him hit 360 carry. I think it might have been 380 carry in the practice round. Did you see that?
Yeah, Rory's a really accurate driver of the golf ball, as are a lot of the Europeans. We are not. We are hosses that drink Mountain Dew, and that is why we have to cut the rough down or we're going to lose to these tea drinkers, okay?
And Zane popped in and said, man, that kicker for the Cardinals sold last night.
Yeah, I'm telling you, the Vegas witches and demons were calling into that game.
They were calling.
Yeah, it was bizarre. I want the U.S. to win. I don't like Patrick Cantlay, but I love Scotty. I don't understand how these captains are picked. Keegan Bradley is going to talk to Bryson DeChambeau and Scotty Scheffler about anything.
Yeah,
Leave me alone.
I don't know. I think Keegan is just a guy who like golfers respect. I've actually played at a couple clubs on Long Island where Keegan is like, he's like, oh, Keegan Bradley came by and he played the course and he broke the record and they all love him. So
Yeah.
I think he's just kind of like a Long Island staple maybe, and that's why he got picked here. I'm sure it's all politics.
Yeah.
The next thing we got to talk about though, Dill, is Brazil, the land far from our shores. How did this guy not die, Dill? And I'm talking about Sandro Diaz, who just broke 2 world records yesterday, the highest quarter pipe drop of all time at 250 feet. We've been covering this all week. This is insane, by the way.
I mean, look at that.
When you see the pullout shot of this from the side, it's absolutely ridiculous. So he broke the highest quarter pipe drop of all time at 250 feet, and he also broke the fastest speed recorded on a quarter pipe at 65 miles an hour. He dropped in on this ramp 4 times and ultimately hit the 250 drop. Let's watch.
Oh.
That's literally insane, dude. Holy shit. Holy shit.
I don't even.
Dude, you could see him look up at the sky, too, like, what the fuck am I doing?
I don't think I would stand on that ledge for $1 million.
And what's wild is after he does it, you're like, that's it?
Yeah.
You're kind of like, that's it? Like, that was
yeah.
so easy. Tony Hawk can't do that? But listen, that's really, really cool. You love to see it. I mean, I don't understand who comes up with these ideas, Dylan. Is it Red Bull? Is it the kooky Travis Pastrana crew?
Mm-hmm.
Like, is it a group of skaters That's just basically a free fall. Falling 20 stories. I don't know I just don't know what's wrong with these people's brains still.
Yeah, I'm not sure either. And there's a great picture of them building this ramp. I was just thinking, this is a government building. And we've talked about Red Bull being a very kooky company that makes drinks, but now puts people in space and does shit like this. Imagine if you're in one of these office buildings and they just decide, you know what, we're going to take the next couple of months and build this giant ramp.
Hey, a guy might die here in 3 months, right outside of your window.
Would you get out of here? Why do you have to put this construction project outside of my window for the next 6 months? But anyways, kudos to the crazy Brazilian and his family. I'm happy he's not dead.
Now, let's stick to skateboarding, which we don't usually do on this show, but the Tony Hawk 900 skateboard, as seen here, at auction last week, sold for over $1 million. There's a lot of things that go for millions in the collectible world. This feels like it might go for even more. I mean, to be honest, I think at $1 million, this is kind of a steal compared to other collectibles that have sold. I mean, I've seen game-used Kobe jerseys sell for more than this in a game that does not mean as much as the 900 Tony Hawk skateboard.
Yeah, this is the most, probably the most important trick in the history of skateboarding, done by the most important skateboarder in the history of the sport. So $1 million seems really, really light for me. I mean, we were talking before the show, Steph Curry's mouth guard just sold for 13 grand.
It's absolutely disgusting. I mean, listen, Tony Hawk, because he's such a good soul, is actually going to donate all this money because he's so goddamn rich, Dylan. He's so goddamn rich. I don't know if you know this, but there's a little game called Tony Hawk's Pro Skater.
I know
it well. It's been out for a couple of years.
I know it well.
And he's made over $100 million off just that video game. So he's not too worried about this mill coming in. But let's finish off the fake sport conversations and get back to the real ones. The NFL is back this Sunday. And we really have to pray for Ashton Jeanty. We got to pray for him, Dill. I mean, Ashton Jeanty, he's pulling out these moves, evading tackles, yet nobody blocks for him. And this stat is absolutely ridiculous. He has 144 total rushing yards, 145 rushing yards after contact. What is going on? This is the most insane stat I've seen. 101% of his yards have been after contact. I don't even know how that's possible.
I don't know that that's ever happened before. If you watched the game on Sunday, this O-line should be jailed for criminal negligence. They hate Ashton Jeanty. I've never seen an O-line perform worse in my life. And this is what everybody told you going into fantasy drafts and going into the season. Ashton Jeanty should not be taken in the first round. He's going to get killed every game.
He's an 8th round pick. We've been talking about this. The Raiders are somehow favorites this week, -1.5. Who do you got, Dale?
I don't know how they're favorites. This feels like a trap line to me. The Bears have been playing much better, but because of that, it makes me... You know how Vegas makes you second guess yourself and makes you think that you're going insane? I'm just staying away from this game. I've got the Bears, but I don't know how this line is 1.5 for the Raiders.
I don't get it either. I watched Geno Smith in real life, IRL as the kids say, and he's not good. He's pretty bad. He's pretty horrible.
And Saul,
Saul calling Jeanty an 8th round pick is crazy. Saul, I'm going to break this down for you so you understand. Ashton Jeanty cannot be started in your first running back slot or your second running back slot. He is a fringe flex play right now.
We're talking about fantasy drafts, not the NFL
So I'm sorry.
draft.
We're not talking about the actual NFL draft, if that was missed by you. We're talking about fantasy drafts. But back to flex position. Are you starting Ashton Jeanty in your flex position, Dill?
Yeah, you probably have to because you drafted him in the first 2 rounds.
Yeah, but you're only doing it because you're emotionally invested,
it's
not
called
because
sunk
you're
cost.
logically thinking.
Yep.
Now, let's get back to more NFL franchises who continue to do this thing where they flood the team with talent and expose them to the elements with no offensive line. It never works. The Dolphins, the Bengals, the Raiders, no offensive line. All right? Absolutely ridiculous. We just saw what happened to Joe Burrow. Ashton Jeanty, you're going to draft him with the 6th, 8th overall pick, and you don't have an offensive lineman to protect him. You might as well draft a tackle or a guard. What's the point of having Genty?
Yeah.
Geno Smith, by the way, also looks bad because his line is so bad. Joe Burrow's not playing. Tua is about to have his 18th concussion of his life, and they're going to put him in a hospital. Your quarterbacks are going to die. Your running backs will do nothing, and you will lose games.
I mean, look at the Eagles. Look at the Eagles.
Healthy.
Enough said.
Everybody's healthy.
Look at the Lions. Enough said.
Nobody's injured on either of those teams. It's just weird. Speaking of young talents that are going to be running for their lives, Jackson Dart will face off against the San Diego Chargers at the Meadowlands. Giants are home dogs at +6. Dylan, who you got?
This is another confusing line to me. I don't know that the Giants are that bad. I know they're 0-3, but they've looked pretty decent. I mean, we've never seen Jackson Dart before. He could go out there and lay an absolute egg, or he could look like Herbert. We're not sure.
Well, Dill, they're pretty bad. Trust me on that one. But their defense is young and fast, and it should be good. And if they had a run-of-the-mill quarterback like Daniel Jones, I really feel like they could be in games.
The Giants, I don't know that the Giants are that bad. They have Cam Skattebo, who is a pug on steroids. They have Malik Neighbors. They have a great defense. I don't know. I would probably still take the Chargers here just because it's Jackson Dart's first game, and the Chargers are one of the top 5 teams in the NFL, but it still feels very, very scary to me.
Yeah, it's definitely, and listen, it's feeling scary. Neighbors is a top 5 receiver. Skattebo, by the way, like based on the way he's running, I could see him being a top 15 back this year.
Yeah, I think depending on what happens with Tracy coming back into the fold, he's got a dislocated shoulder. We've seen what happened to Xavier Worthy. He could be out for a little bit of time. Hopefully Cam establishes himself as the bell cow in the backfield. But Cam Skattebo could be a top 20 running back rest of season.
Well, here's my position on Skattebo, guys, is that he's a true football player, right? And like he brings this energy to the game where he cares about every single play. He wants to injure a Chiefs defender on a block
and that's
when he's
exactly
not
what
even
he
getting
did.
the ball.
Yeah.
Like this guy is a football player. Coaches love him. That's going to resonate with the whole staff. They're going to put him in the game. He's already outperforming Tyrone Tracy. The only thing that maybe you could argue with me is that he's not a pass-catching back, which is yet to be seen. Maybe he is. I love Skattebo. I kind of want to trade for him in a couple leagues.
Yeah, I mean, imagine if Napoleon was buff and even angrier. That's what Cam Skattebo is. So that's a diabolical combination.
And moving on to the running back on the Chargers, Omarion, he's going to look pretty good. I think he's about to pop off because Najee's out and Keenan Allen and Herbert. The Chargers are like a really kind of like scary team who I think could make a huge statement this year. I don't know. I'm taking the Chargers every week until they prove me wrong.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea to take the Chargers every week. Obviously, first 4 weeks of the season, we were flirting about this division. It was the toughest division in the NFL with all this pedigree and the coaching. The Raiders are horrible. The Chiefs are horrible. They have really good coaching, so they'll be okay. The Broncos and Bo Nix look bad. It looks like this division is just all San Diego / Los Angeles.
San Diego / Los Angeles. I like that. Now, let's go to the next game, the one that everybody will be tuning in for, the grudge match. The Packers rolling into Arlington to take on the former Micah Parsons. Micah Parsons, the former defensive lead, all-pro, best defender in the league outside of maybe Myles Garrett, who the Cowboys traded for a couple nickels. The Cowboys are home dogs at +7. CD's not playing. We're in trouble. Dak's going to have to find, you know he's going to have to find?
George
Javonte.
Pickens. Oh.
Javonte. Hand it off to Javonte. Score another 20-point week.
Yeah.
Listen, you know how I feel about the Packers, everybody. Sorry if you like cheese and you're from Green Bay. But the unfortunate news that I'm going to deliver to you is you are not Super Bowl contenders. As you saw last week, you lost to the low-level Browns, okay? I didn't lose the game. You guys lost the game. If you can't beat the Browns, you can't be in the Super Bowl. You can't get to the Super Bowl, number one. And two, you definitely can't win it. The Eagles will dominate you. The Rams will dominate you. I think the Bucks will beat you. There's a lot of teams that you have to get through before you're getting to the Super Bowl, and I just don't believe in Jordan Love. He's not impressed me. What he's done is he's beat some mediocre teams and even some bad teams in the playoffs. He had a good win against the Niners one year, and he beat Dak Prescott, right? What does that mean? It means absolutely nothing. If the Cowboys won this game, I wouldn't be surprised. I do give the edge to the Packers. What do you think, Dill?
Yeah, I was going to say, why don't you put your money where your mouth is? Is he going to beat the Packers this weekend? You're going to take Cowboys +7?
No, I don't bet on the Cowboys ever. I actually that's a rule of mine, and I bet on them last week, and they lost me a parlay.
Well, Love's got to throw to Romeo Dappz, Matthew Golden,
Tucker Kraft.
They've got Josh Jacobs. I do not understand why you hate the Packers so much.
Just don't like them. Let's move on to probably the second best game of the week. Baker Mayfield versus the tush push. Eagles roll into Tampa to play the team that smacks that ass, Dill. That smacks that ass. Eagles are road favorites at 3.5. I'm on the Bucks, man. The Bucks have beat the Eagles 7 out of the last 10 times. Now, they did have Tom Brady for a couple of those. All right, all right, Dill, who do you got?
I have got the Eagles. I don't want this spread. Feels like a field goal game to me. The Eagles are just too churn and burn. They're just going to wear you down. I think they're too difficult to beat right now. But I love the Bucks. I mean, I don't want the Eagles to win this game. They're boring. Okay, they're boring and they cheat. But I do think they're going to win this game.
Yeah, they're 100% boring. Listen, I don't think they should have won last week. I think they needed a miracle. I think that Baker is definitely tenacious. He's got that grit. He's got that attitude. He's this. We've called Cam Skattebo the Baker Mayfield of running back.
Yeah.
So I'm always rooting for Baker. Listen, I'm not going to be surprised if the Eagles win. I'm not saying that the Eagles are bad or the Bucks have their number. But if the Bucks did win this game, I'm just not surprised. Jalen Hurts, Baker, A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith finally getting the end zone last week. It all comes down to what brand of football are the Eagles going to play, because they can't play this slow brand of football all year and expect to win and then come back with Jalen Hurts in the second half. Nice work that you did against the Rams, but I think the Rams took their foot off the gas because of what we always talk about. You go up and then you try to preserve the lead instead of playing the brand of football that got you the lead.
Yeah, no,
you don't go up and then change your game. That's not how this works.
I think they're doing this thing where they're going to start with their garbage disposal play set in the beginning of the game and just churn and burn, eat clock, and score a couple touchdowns. If they start to play good teams that are starting to score on them and they switch to this fast, high offense kind of football, they may be snake bit, because it might not turn out. I mean, they had to, pray to the gods last week to get that win. So
let's get to the game we've been waiting for, Dill. All right. The Ravens will flock into Arrowhead to take on Big Bro and are favored by 2.5. Patrick Mahomes, one time in his career, was an underdog at home, and now he's been an underdog twice in the past 3 weeks. Absolutely ridiculous. This is a game that I'm excited to watch as a fan. It's absolutely unbelievable that no matter what happens, either the Ravens or Chiefs will be 1-3.
I love it.
Which is just wild to think about. I don't think that matters in terms of the rest of the season. It's way too early for any of these analysts to go, oh, is this a must-win game? Oh, they're going to miss the playoffs? No. We're not doing that. We're not doing that week 4.
No,
all right, football just came back on TV. Yeah. Can we enjoy it? Dylan? What do you got in this game?
The Ravens are far better than the Chiefs. They're far better than the Chiefs. 2.5. Give me 10. Give me 10.
Well, what's wild, Dill, is I thought they were far better than the Lions and the Bills, too. Because, by the way, they went up big in both games.
They are better than both of those teams. Derrick Henry has coughed the ball up each game he has played. Were it not for that, they would be 3-0. They are a far better team than the Kansas City Chiefs. Take the Ravens.
Take the Ravens. That's straight from Dylan. horse to mouth, water to earth. I don't know what the saying is, Dylan. You know what I'm talking about. Listen, Ravens versus Chiefs. Mahomes, he's always going to have a chance. Lamar Jackson and the Ravens, though, for the rest of the season, if they're watching this show, Dill, if they're listening to you and I, the one thing that I ask is, Lamar Jackson, Harbaugh, Henry, when you go up 2 touchdowns in the game, like Dylan said earlier, go up 3. Go up 4. Keep scoring. Don't stop scoring. You didn't win the game because you won the first 2 quarters. I hate to see this. The Seahawks almost lost last night because they played that brand of football. It's not fun to watch. It puts you in jeopardy of losing games. It also, I think it messes up the chemistry of the team if you lose a game like that. Right now, there's some turmoil in the locker room. It's your fault. It's your fault. When really, why isn't Lamar Jackson throwing bombs up a touchdown to Zay Flowers down the sideline to score again?
Oh, we need to save plays for the postseason. Oh, we need to manage the clock. This is not chess. It's football.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm excited to see.
Let's run some packages, too, where Lamar fakes a handoff to the running back, rolls out. We don't have to get him hurt. Have him slide for 6 yards.
Right.
Move the chains.
Right. I'm excited to see D-Hop go back to Kansas City.
That's what you're excited about?
I kind of am.
Who played 6 games in Kansas City?
No. Listen, he wears 5X gloves, okay? I think if you want to sprinkle some prop stuff down, I think D-Hop is it's an enticing little pick.
It's a little pick. Listen, guys, it's been an absolute pleasure hosting you on Friday. We are so excited for Sunday football. Please remember, Dappz Live is every day, Monday to Friday, 12 p.m. Pacific time. Don't forget, comment, send us those DMs. Who's in your fantasy lineup? Who are you betting on? Which takes are horrible that we're giving you? We will talk about whatever you want. Remember, we got these skits coming out on a daily basis. Check them out. We just did one on the Arizona Seahawks recap last night. I think you'll find that very funny. And we've just did a Mets script. People are asking for a Detroit Tigers script, Dill. They're asking for a Texas Rangers skit. So if you have a team that you want us to do a script for, please comment underneath the video or let us know in the live stream. Remember, general managers, Tuesdays live streaming at 4 p.m. Pacific time. If you want any fantasy advice, the cookbook live streamed Monday and Thursdays, an hour before the game starts on Thursday Night Football or Monday Night Football. Please join us for the cookbook. We will see you next week.